Hello and welcome back to Samik Digital Lectures. We are in Software and Web Development class SWD 324 Backend Development 1. And today's class is a practical class. We intend to carry out the practical aspects of the course, which is we are on practical 3, which is functions, strings, manipulation, and arrays in PHP. That is the topic of today's class. If you are new to our channel, I urge you to subscribe to the channel. Subscription is free. Just click the subscription button on the screen and then share our videos to your loved ones. You can also do way to click the notification bell so that you will be notified anytime we upload new content on my channel. Alright, so let us dive into today's work. Like I said earlier, we are on functions, string, manipulation, and then arrays in PHP. We are using PHP for our backend development. So we have to look at the key things about PHP, very key concepts, which are functions and string manipulations. We'll also look at the arrays in PHP. So let's quickly look at the learning objectives for today. By the end of today's practical, it is expected that you students should be able to write and use your own custom functions in PHP. You should also be able to use PHP built-in string functions such as substr, string length, implode, and explode, etc. You should also be able to create arrays and use loops to go through the arrays or the array items. And finally, you will also be able to add and remove or replace values inside arrays. So these are the things we'll be doing today in the practical. What you need to have, or the materials that we need available for this practical to be able to be carried out effectively, you need a computer which is installed with either XAMPP or WAMP. And we are going to look at, we are basing our practicals on XAMPP. We are using XAMPP. And then you should also need a text editor such as VS Code, Notepad++, or Sublime text. So any of these can go with. I usually make use of the VS Code, and we'll be using VS Code for this practical. Then you also need a web browser like Chrome or Firefox or any of the web browsers. Then you also need a basic knowledge of file saving and running PHP for localhost, which we did justice to that in our previous classes. We use in our lecture 1 and 2, we use our localhost, and we know that we can do that effectively now. Alright, so without wasting time, let's go to step-by-step procedure. Let's follow the step-by-step procedure on how to carry out those practical requirements that we have to carry out today. Now, first, we have to set up the project folder. We need to create a project folder. You know that initially we are using the htdocs as a folder. Yes, we are still going to make use of the htdocs as a root folder. Where can we locate it? Go to this folder, select SAM, and then you see htdocs as the folder here. Just double click and it will be opened. So today we are required to create another folder inside this folder. Yeah, we have to create a folder inside this folder. Create a new folder named SWD324 Practical 3. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. It's very simple. As you are here, don't click anywhere, just go to this place, click on new folder, and then we are going to name the folder SWD3. Okay, let me use small letters anyway. SWD324 underscore practical 1, practical 3, rather, practical 3. So that is the file name we are going to, the folder name we are going to use. Press enter from the keyboard and that will be created automatically. Okay, inside this folder we can open this folder and then create another file inside the folder. Double click the file folder name, the folder name, and then inside the folder you can, it's empty already, you see. So this is the journey from this PC to local disk to XAMPP to htdocs into this folder SWD324 underscore practical 3. Then you can create your file here. Alright, so we can create our own file here. You can right click and choose okay, there's no option for new file here, so let's do the normal thing. Okay, we are going to open this on the VS Code. Already we have our VS Code. The htdocs is already there. This is the folder we have created, so you can click on it. Alright, then you can select this file. Once you click on this one, any file you are creating now will be inserted inside this folder. So just click here, then you can create the file. Alright, so the file name we are going to create is not far from there, is SWD324. Okay, the file name is going to be the same as the folder name. Alright, so let's click here and then create the file name SWD 324 underscore practical 3 dot php. Don't forget to put .php because it's a PHP file that we're creating. Then press enter into that. Okay, inside this you will create a separate file that inside SWD 324 practical. Okay, each of them should focus on one concept or task. Anyway, this is the file that we were supposed to create. So since we have created this one, we can also rename it. It's no problem. Just close it and right click on this one, go to rename. Okay, right click. This is the file, not the folder. Go in and select rename. This is rename, and then you just type the name correctly, which is custom function, custom underscore function underscore function underscore function dot php. Okay, so already there. Function is not correct, spelling is not correct. Function dot php. Press enter, and then the file is created. Yes, so we have this file here too. The essence of this, or the focus here, is to write your own function, to create your own function. And this function starts here and ends here. That is the function. The aim of this function is to greet. So let me just copy this so that we'll be very fast. Copy this into this. So just click somewhere and then paste the file. Paste the code anyway. Alright, so this is the code. It starts here and ends here. Starts here and ends here. And then this is a function that we have created. Function greet user. The function name is greet user. This is the function name. And then this function name has a parameter known as name. And this is a variable. You know that variables in PHP have to be, the variable name has to precede or has to be preceded by what? A $sign. So that is that. So we have the function is going to return the name hello. Sorry, it's going to return hello, then the name that the user that will be used when it is invoked. Okay, so that is that. So under it now we call the function here by using the echo key, function, or using the output function echo. So when you use the output function echo and then call the function by the name greeting, then we supply a value inside the parameter list, which is Samik, and this is now assumed to be a string value. Remember that PHP doesn't specify data types. It doesn't specify data types until whatever you use or whatever value assigned to the variable that assumes the data type of that variable. So this is done successfully. You can save it and then use it. You can run this on the browser to see what happens there. Let me click on go live and see what's going to display there. Oh, one other thing that's pending. We didn't start Apache. We didn't start PHP tools here. So we need to start Apache together with MySQL to allow them to function. We need to do that first. Don't forget to start your Apache from the XAMPP control panel. If you don't start that, then the pages will not be displayed. They will not be able to display your result. So that is very important. Don't ever forget it. I think this is taking too long. Let me use localhost here. Then localhost. File name is custom function. .php. Custom function. Make sure you write this correct spelling. Do you know what? We have to include the folder. The folder first. The folder in which this was located. SWD 324 underscore practical 3 slash then custom function.php. Sure, this one should be able to display. Very good. it has displayed now. You can see that it has displayed. The browser has displayed hello Samuel. This is easier than what when we wanted to display from the we wanted to go live from the VS Code. That took a lot of time. Alright, so that is that. So without wasting much time, let's move to the next one. Working with string functions. We have a number of string functions here that we need to work out. All of them, we shall put them all on the same in the same file. Let's create a file that we handle this part A, part B, C, D respectively. One file should be able to handle all those issues. Okay, so we still come here, click there, and then create a file here. Call it string function, string, or let's just put str underscore functions dot php, enter. So what we have there is that it starts with this string substring. Okay, from this we are given this, as the file name. The file that we're supposed to create is string substring.php, but we have created this one, string functions. So we are learning so many things. We must not stick to what we have been shown here to do. So we can try to create our own things. You can also try to create your own thing. And again, I'm trying to look at how we can merge all these functions into one PHP code. So, or we can create more than one PHP code. Anyway, let me start by creating a PHP code. PHP, select that one. Then when we enter inside, we create a variable known as text. The $sign, variable name as text equals to, then we have Samik digital, Samik digital. I think that is all. Then we're going to output echo substring. So the function is there, selected there. Then inside the bracket we put the file name text. Okay, there is a suggestion there which is requiring us to put, okay, let's select it, but then we will edit this number. This number is 5 because it's going to pick up to 5 characters. So a substring out of that string, now the output will be Samik. We want to get that word Samik complete. So let's edit it that way and then close the PHP code. Now let's see how we can echo something here. Echo. Okay, we cannot do that without the PHP code. Let's start with the PHP this thing. So the first thing is let's echo, let's print a line break here, br, line break br, then come out of this one, so that it's going to take us to the next line. Alright, then we'll add another okay, let's try to use comment to separate. This is part B, this one is part B, this is part B, and part B is this string function known as strlen, which is string length, and that is what we are going to write this next code for. So let's have our message. Let's have a variable name known as message. You can shorten it MSG equals to, then put it in double quotes, hello world. Okay, remember to terminate your PHP code by putting the semicolon. Okay, there's an error in this one. This error cannot affect the compiler anyway, that's just grammatical error. That's why that thing is changed. That's not the correct spelling of hello. So let me just put the correct thing there. Then move on to write echo. Okay, let's select this one, message. Okay, we can move further and create another one. Let's move further and create another one for C. String explode. Okay, we start with this one and then can say string explode. We can also echo that line break. Let's break the line. Yes, let's break the line further so that there will be a space between the results. Now space. You can also print those of you that are good in HTML, you can also print using echo. You can use echo. I hope you know that with echo function you can write everything that a browser needs to. So all the HTML tags you can use echo to write them, and then PHP, sorry, the browser will understand what you have written. Anyway, so let's I want to use a horizontal rule so that we can use the horizontal rule, which is HR, sorry, in angle bracket HR. HR is a tag in HTML that draws a horizontal line, so to separate the top from the bottom. So we shall have that there. This is just bonus to what we are supposed to do anyway. Let's now move in and create a variable by name what? Sentence. Okay, PHP is easy to learn. Why I have a suggestion here as I love programming in PHP. Alright, I think I love this one. Let me accept it. Just press tab key. If you are using a VS Code and you have a suggestion that you like, then just use tab key. The next line now say word count. It's going to count words. Anyway, okay, we forgot to use for documentation. You need to be using a comment. This one is for what? It's part C, right? This is part C, and part C is for this explode. We are using explode.php. Alright, so that means we will now make use of these words. We create another variable, words equals to explode. Explode is a keyword. Look at it. It has been selected there by itself. You can press enter and then it will be picked, and then use tab key to accept what is being suggested in front, because that's exactly what we want to write. So when you are using, discover that when you are using VS Code, it suggests easier for you, and then that gives you faster typing speed, even if you don't know how to type very well. Programming is not all about typing, you understand? It's all about writing the correct codes. Okay, we have another suggestion there. In case you don't know what is there, you wanted to know, then you can accept it. But that is not what we're doing. We want to print, and this is the function we want to use, print R. So this print R, we choose words, so that it's going to show us what is there. What the output is this. It's going to print with this each character from first character to the last one. Understand? Let me scroll that side so that you can see what is there. I think we are going to accept that. So this will output, is going to output array of characters starting from the first character to, which is the first character will be I, that's the first word, that's every word will be printed separately, and it will be counting the number of words. This one will count the number of words in this. I love programming in PHP. There are how many words there? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then that will be stored in separate array locations, or array indices, which is 0 to 1 to 4, since we have 5 of them. Okay, now what do? We still echo this break, correct, and then we terminate this. I think before we continue, let's go and run this code and see what's happening. But let's terminate this using the closing tag of PHP code. So let's save it. I think we are going to view this. The function name is the file name is string functions.php. strfunctions.php. That's the file we created. So let's go to the browser and use localhost instead of what we have here, localhost. Let's select this one, then work on this str underscore functions. Make sure the file name is exactly as what is there. Then we can press enter from the keyboard here and we can see, all right, there are errors. Yes, this has errors. Unexpected token echo in C. Okay, line what? 3. Let's go back and debug. Line 3 echo substring. From our code, what do we have? Let's see what we have here. Echo substring text comma 0 comma 5. That's correct. Okay, having looked at the code carefully, I discovered that the mistake or the error we had was here with line 2 and not just line 3. Have you seen the mistake? Yes, the omission is that semicolon. There is no semicolon here. This line has not been terminated, and as long as you omit the semicolon, PHP will consider this line 2 and line 3 as same line. That is why it finds it difficult to interpret this. How can you start this line by saying text is equals to, you assign this value to Samik digital to this variable text, and then you on the same line you now output the length, the substring of this word. It's not possible. So that is why the error the error comes there. So you have to terminate it with the semicolon. Once you put it there and then save it, go to the browser, run the program, you see it's already there. Samik has been picked. This line is the HR that we were using there, and then the next one is this one that counts the number of characters. Just like I was saying, this message is containing 11 characters. Supposing you add an exclamation mark there, that makes it 12. Save it and refresh here and see. Okay, it has turned to 12 and not 11 again. So the number of words you add, if you close this one here, if you close it, the gap between that hello and word, then you're supposed to see what you will see should be what? 11 and not 12. Very good. So the number of characters you add will now determine the size or the length. It will increase. Then moving to the third part, which is part C, explode. What is explode actually doing? Like I said, it's going to output this. It's going to create an array that will place all these words. This is telling you that the first word is stored in the location 0, while the second word log is stored in this location 1, and then programming is stored in location 2, in is stored in location 3, and so is what PHP stored in location 4. So that is how PHP prints. Here it displays values using print r. Okay, we are going to move on with the fourth challenge. The fourth challenge. Here is the fourth challenge. That's part D. As usual, let's start the PHP code. Let's start the PHP code with a question mark. Rather, open the angular bracket, question mark, and then PHP. Alright, let's have our comment, which is on part D. Part D means implode. Correct, implode. So if you run this thing now, you should be able to see the last part of it, which is this one. Okay, let's save it. Go and refresh from the browser. Go to the browser and just refresh the same file. So what you see now is this one. We didn't draw a line to divide, so we can go back and draw this line now. Let me draw the line. Let me use echo HR must be in angular brackets because that's the function, that's the what, the tag attribute. Okay, this is done. So when you run it again or refresh it again, you see, okay, this is divided. This is better now. This one is looking neat. This one is there, this one here, and this one here, and then this one. If you like, you can draw another line down. But we're not doing HTML, so we're not bothered about that much. So let's do it. When we are doing front end, in your front end classes, you will see how you can style your front end, your display or your user interface. You can customize it in such a way that it looks more attractive and more beautiful. Okay, so we will be moving forward to look at number 4. Step number 4, creating and printing an array. We come to array proper now. We are going to create a new file with the file name array_create.php. Array_create.php. So inside this file, we are going to create an array of students, and this array of students with the variable name students is going to contain the following students: Alice, Bob, and Charlie. Okay, then we are going to print R. This will do the same thing that we did when we asked it to print something here, form of sentence. So that's the same thing that it's going to do. Okay, so after that, then we move to step 5, which is looping through an array. We have to iterate the values of the array. That's what we mean by looping through an array. By looping through an array, we have to create and count the values from the array. That's what we need to do after that. Okay. All right. So let's get into business. Inside this same folder, I also create a file. I'm going to save it as, what do we have here? Array. Okay. So I'm going to use this array create.php. Array underscore create dot php. So this is the file. Like I did in the previous one, I will use this same file and create for all of them. Let me first of all start with a comment. Step 4. This step. Step 4. Step 4. Create an array. Okay, let me stop the array of 3 elements. Okay, since I choose 5, let me just create an array that contains 5 elements instead of this one. So I'll start. The reason why you see this thing going this way, this should be giving us an error. Let me first of all create the PHP this thing first, then I'll copy this one and create this comment. This comment will definitely give you an error because this file has not done anything yet that will make it know that this is a PHP file. You understand? You can see that it's turned green now. That shows that this one will be accepted. By introducing the PHP tag there, that makes it a PHP code. I can close it. By the way, I can close it straight away here. I can close it straight away. Okay, I can close it before going inside to continue. So I will now declare my variable name as students. Then the values are Alice, Bob, Charlie, David, and what? Edwin. Is it Edwin? I'm gonna collapse this one. I'm gonna collapse this thing now. Don't need it yet. Okay. Okay. This array will now display how many? Display array of students, of 5 students. 5 students. 5 students. Okay. So echo. I'm using H2D. We're borrowing tags from our HTML. So these are HTML tag array of our students that will be displayed first before the code echo print. Okay, this thing is taking me to something which I don't want to cover now. Let me stop there. Let me put what I wanted to write. Just print. We are not going to echo. We're going to print. Print R. So let's choose this print R students. Print R students. So that will display the students. Semicolon is there. Alright. Okay. So we have done the first one. So we can use HR. We can echo. We can print HR now. Let's go HR so that I can have a space. Okay, just a space under it. Echo. Well, I will start with that one next. And the next PHP, which PHP code which we are going to talk about the looping through the array. This one now. Let me copy this one. I want to do it fast. So let me copy this one and place it here because the video is getting longer as more than as it is expected. So let me copy this code and edit it. Just inside here, let's break. Let's echo break. Echo BR echo. Then I will put my comment here that this is loop through array. Okay, loop through the array. Looping through array student. That's the name of the array. So let me just give it space. Then students. Okay, what we had was okay, already I have this one up here. Let me just copy this one. Let me copy the concluding part of it here. I'll just copy the whole thing here so that you can replace it. Copy the whole thing there, replace this one with it. So that I have it. You can change the names. This Bob can be Samuel, Alice can be a different person, say Peter. Okay. And then Evelyn. Oh, that's the spelling, Abby. Evelyn, yeah, that's the spelling. Okay, then in this we have this statement for each. So for each student as student, for each students as student. This student is the same as this file name. Then we have given it another name, student. Sorry, we have given each value a name, a variable name as student. So for each student found within the array students, then it's going to output student equals to the name of the student. You understand? The name of the student will be here. So all their names will be outputted here. So that's what is going to happen. Alright, let's save this one and proceed. I think we have adding values and then removing values and replacing the value in an array. All these ones I want us to do them in just the same file. I want us to do them in the same file. I hope we are following. Okay, let me create another PHP code. Okay. Alright, this is what I want. I'll also echo HR. Echo HR root. That's what I want. Associate array with 3. Oh, no, that's not what I want to create. So anyway, let me just change this one. What are we doing? This one. Step 5. Step 5. Is it 5? Oh, this was 5. Okay. In step 4, create a new array. Add. Okay, adding values or adding array elements. Adding array elements. Array elements. That is, you create an array. You want to add more elements to that array. This one, this one. when I run it, I'll find out what is there, if there's something wrong there for me. Okay, so the next thing is we have an array of 3 values. Okay, 2 values. Let me copy this one. Permit me to copy this one here to here, so that I can do it faster. Control V. Okay, so this array now creates this statement here, students equals to Alice, Bob. This one creates an array of 2 values or 2 elements, and these elements are going to store in index 0 and 1. You understand? Then the next line now, line 26 now says students, then it uses this empty space there equals to Charlie. Okay, array dot push. Okay, array push. This is the key word, or this is the key function that is adding value to the array, that is increasing values to the array. Now we can simply okay, this has been assigned here. We can simply add this one, this student, to this one. I think this one is going to add, we have students, this value, then have this one, Charlie. Okay, we'll run this one. I think it's going to output. Let me run this file first, so that we can see what is happening. The array create.php. Let's go to the browser and then open it here. Let's have localhost. Okay, let's accept this one, then edit array create.php. Array underscore create.php. Alright, press enter from the keyboard and see what happens. Okay, the first one has been created. We have okay, this is what I wanted us to see. Now let's go to the first one first. The first one now creates an array of students with these values, these elements: Alice, Bob, Charlie, David, and then we print R. When we use print R, normally this is what it's going to show. It's going to display how the array elements are going to be stored in the memory. So arrays, what arrays does is that they create a memory location, but then that memory location is being partitioned into segments that it can store more than just a value. That's the difference from an array variable and other variables. Other variables can store only one value at a time, but arrays can store more than one values at a time. So in this place, this array, this is how the memory, this is how to represent the values in the memory. The memory will be segmented into 5 portions, indexing them as 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, so that the first element will be stored at point 0 or at index 0, the second at index 1, and that's how it's being stored. So it will not display this to show you that print R will show you where each element is stored in the memory. So that's what happens there. Then if you go to the next one, this one is looping through. It loops through the array. These are the values of the array we have, and it prints them. Because of this PR, it prints everything on a different line, on a different line. Yes. So the first one, which is Peter, will be printed on the first one. The student is there, then name of the student is Peter, then it moves to the next line and print like that. That's how it's going to do. Okay, then for the third one, the third option here, echo, is going to break the line. Then echo HR will now print this line here. Good. Then we have students, we have Alice, Bob. This is the array, the first array that has been created, and this is the array that has been created. Then we have this second line now adds this to the array because it's carrying the same name, student, and then we assign this value. It means that this Charlie will be added to this. So it's a different way, or a second way, or another way that you can add elements to an array. That is why we have student Charlie, student equals to Charlie, and then when you print R, then all these values now are being represented. Okay, the second line, which adds, is the second method that you can actually add values or elements to an array. So in this case, you have 1, 2, 3. You have Alice, Bob, and Charlie already represented in student. So when you now use array push as a method or a function, then the parameters are first the array name, the name of the variable, then which is the name of the array, comma the item that is going to be added, or the element that is going to be added, that is going to be pushed onto the array, and it's going to be added at the end of the array. That is on top of the array, in front of the array. Sorry, not in front. What I mean is, it will come as the last element. You understand? That's why you have Gina here, or Diana rather. So that is what happens there. Okay, so we look at the rest of this. Removing value from array. Now it will pick one value out of the array, and that's at a particular position. Okay, here we have onset student 1, so it's going to pick the second item here, this second item, because 0 is for the first item, 1 is for the second item, 2 is for the third item. So it's going to onset student 1. Okay, then it's going to print. That's what this one will do. Let's head into it. Let's copy and head into it and see what happens there. Okay, first I will just paste this and then edit as usual. We want to have a HR, so echo HR semicolon, then break the line with another echo statement, echo break the line dr semicolon. Rather. Okay, that's wrong. Oh no, it's all right. Okay, that's the right thing. Semicolon first. Okay, let's start that. I need to put that one first before the semicolon. Alright, so this array has been created. Array of students carrying the elements Ali, Bob, and Charlie. Okay, so they simply will refresh this to see this. Okay, now I told you that it's going to pick the second one. So once it picks the second one, we have 0 this. Okay, what happens there is that the onset we only remove the value, but then leave the space empty. It means this one becomes empty. You can set this. You can set the second item, which is occupying index position 1. We unset it. We remove this value, but then the position will still be there, and it will not shift down. If you want to shift it down, then you must use another function other than this onset, which is delete. Delete will remove and then remove the position, the position at which that value was also created, and then shift this one inside. So Charlie will not move down into it. Okay. So that is that for that. Replacing the value in an array is very simple. We can do that. Okay. We can replace the value in array. We have not been commenting again. Okay. I think this is step 4. This is step 5 rather. This is step 5 because the first initial one was step 4. So this should be step 5. Step 5. Looking through. Then step 6. Rather than 5 here, step 6. And then step 7. We should have step 7 too. Step 7, okay. Removing array element. Correct. Then step 7 now. I'll paste this what I copied there. Then comment this one step 7. Step 8 rather. Step what? 8. Which is what? Replacing array value. Replacing array value. Okay. So, but normally we divide this by using the horizontal rule. Echo HR semicolon at the end of it. For line break, we break it up there so there should be enough space there. So this first line, let's say this one, is creating an array of these values. Okay, Alice, Bob, and Charlie. Then the one that's next to it is going to assign a value. It's going to reset the whole array, and then what position is it going to touch? The first position, which is index 0, where Alice already occupied. So it's going to pick this value out and replace it with this one. So when we go to the browser and view, we can see this is the last part of it. And has been placed at 0. Okay, so what we have here is that this student, this value, this element and has been added. This and has been added at position 1. So it's going to definitely replace Alice at this position. So the array will not increase in size, in the sense that we didn't use add. This is just replacing. If we want to add, we will use array push. When we use array push, then array push will now increase the size of the array. So that is what happens here. It doesn't increase here when you just replace this one. So that is what we have. We have practice tasks here for students. So students are expected to carry out this task. Create a new PHP file for each of the following tasks. Sum function, which we write a function that is going to accept two numbers and return their sum. Then number 2, you are going to create another one for count number length. Sorry, count name length. This one we use this variable, sorry, the function string length to count characters in the file name. We've used that one already. Then we will create another file known as sentence to array.php. This one will convert I love PHP programming into an array using explode. And then the last one, array operations.php. This one will create an array of 4 names, add one more, remove one, and then replace another one, just like we did in that exercise. So that is all you need to do for this practical for today. Students are also going to reflect on this. Which string function was the most useful today? How do arrays help organize data? We are going to reflect on that. Then can you think of a simple app idea where arrays and functions can be used? Then you are going to describe that in this space provided, and that marks the end of this practical 4. Is it practical 3 or 4? Practical 3 already. It's practical 3. This is where we started. So we have come to the end of this practical 3, which is functions, string manipulations, and array in PHP. Alright, before we go, I still request that you support this channel by subscribing to this channel if you're new, and then click the notification bell to be notified each time we upload new content. Do well to share our video to others. Alright, when next we meet, we shall talk about retrieving and cleaning data from get, post, and global variables. That is all I will be doing in the next practical. Thank you very much.